Hey there, everybody. We have Greenleaf Season 5, Episode 7 coming in just a few days. The penultimate chapter of this story is almost here. It is sad. It may be dramatic. We may have the big moment that everyone is going to be talking about. We may have the give Keith David his darn Emmy moment, which I know a lot of us want.
Yeah, so we did a preview of the promo a couple days ago. We'll link that for you below. But we want to dive a little more into what we think a bishop is actually going to be talking about when he's up on that stage, because there's a lot of different ways that it can go, and we've been having these sort of theory discussions behind the scenes here, and we thought we'd get on and share them with you guys.
Yeah, because if we're gonna just sit down and like go back and forth, that's like we might as well go back and forth here on the video and try to actually figure this out. So we've got a few different theories. Before we get into them though, if you guys do like this discussion, give us a like, subscribe to the channel. We have the Cartomat store, the link is in the description if you want to check that out, and also our Patreon where we have a number of different benefits and perks. We hope you take a look at that. Thank you guys so much for your support.
So the first sort of theory that we were talking about when we saw Bishop up on that stage, sort of talking to everybody, is that he's confessing his own sins. And so he may be sort of taking a lead from what Lady Mae just did, where she told the whole family about Lionel and Grace and everything that happened, that he was, really on her to kind of be like, don't preach about being holier than thou kind of thing. You need to actually confess what you've done, or put it out there. You can't have a foot in each camp here. Like, you either got to be here or you got to be here. And she was like, yeah, you're right. So this happened with Lionel, this happened with Grace, let's have dinner. And so maybe Bishop then was kind of like, oh, wow, okay, maybe I need to take a look inside myself, because there is the secret of everything that happened with Mavis. So maybe now that they're getting ready to go into their own church and start from the ground up, he wants to go in with that same burden off his own soul. So that's kind of, I was wondering if that's where he's going.
I really hope this is where he's going. And it's just, to me, I think if Bishop is going to push for Lady Mae to share some of her secrets, I think he needs to share some of his secrets. I think he needs to put his cards out on the table, because confession, it is a big part of religion in some ways, in that in order to absolve you of your sins, you need to admit that you have sinned, and confession is a big part of that. And I don't want to mix different sort of denominations up here, but ultimately Bishop's congregation, these are the people that he is presenting the word to. These are the people that are there to listen to what he has to say. They view him as a trusted, admired source, and if they find out about misdeeds in his past from someone other than him, that makes him look like a liar. That makes him look false. And he can't have that. He needs to have this to be able to actually move forward and be good at what he is doing.
So the other sort of, I guess, sin that he would have to put out there to be able to sort of move forward into this more honest life is confessing what he knows about the church burning down. Now, we don't think that he knew that Daryl James was going to be in that church. I just don't think that.
Yeah.
But he did know that it was going to be burned down so that he could have the insurance money. And that's not good either.
No.
It's not murder, but it's not good. So it's possible that he's going to be confessing some of that as well. I mean, we do know that that story has been going on this whole time, and since season 1. And we know everything. Rochelle is back. Tara's here. I like to think Basie's alive. and the will is out there. There's just, the stuff with the groundskeeper. There is so much going on that I don't know how that secret doesn't come out before the end of the season.
How happy are you going to be if Basie's just randomly in the congregation for this?
I'm going to fall out of my chair.
So this is the biggest, most interesting risk, because I think, once again, Bishop does need to confess to a lot of sins, and this is one of his biggest sins. this is also the sin that's probably going to make it the hardest to win a lot of the congregation back from, because it's one thing to know that something is burning. It's another thing altogether that it's a church, that it is a place of worship, and that's not something I think everybody is willing to forgive, and that's even in a religion that's based on forgiveness. But in order to have, loyal followers moving forward, the more that Bishop tries potentially, if he does want to take down Bob and Judy and everybody else, he always runs the risk of his own demons coming out. It's better that they hear it from him. And yeah.
So the other one that we want to talk about is everything with Phil's dad. So Phil's dad has shown up in the last episode. He's got some information about, Phil's mom and some of the things that she was doing and some stuff about Bob. I'm sure all of that is going to get back to Bishop, and that then Bishop may go and expose this information as part of his own speech to the congregation and kind of be like, guys, this is who you're following. Like, you guys are going to stay here with these guys? This is what they're doing to our community. And they've been doing it for like 20 years.
This is, to me, this one is really, really interesting, because I think I want to see Bob and Judy take it down. Like, I am living for this. I want to see the horrified look on Judy's face when she realizes that it's all over. She has lost. There are people who are closer to God than her. I think Judy kind of legitimately believes that she is God sometimes. So I'm looking forward to all of this. And I do think that it's true.
She's so ridiculous.
Yeah, she is, and I can't wait to see her downfall. I hope there's a downfall, and I think this could be a legitimate part of it, because the whole goal here in the end is, all right, we're trying to save Cavalry, we're trying to save the church, and even if you can't physically save the entity of the church itself, maybe you can save the congregation, and maybe that's something that Bishop is thinking about just as much as anything else.
Yeah, because, and I brought this up in the last video, but I feel like it deserves to be brought up again. The congregation controls the church. It's not Bob, it's not Judy, it's not even Bishop. If the congregation doesn't show up, then Bob and Judy are sitting in an empty church. And it goes the same for Bishop. If Bishop opens up his new church and nobody shows up, then Bishop's sitting in a bar with Lady May. That's what's happening. And I think Bishop has not lost focus that the congregation is the key to everything, but Bob has long lost focus that he needs that congregation to be able to stay. I think he knows it, but he thinks that just by having Phil around or some other people that were part of Calvary, that the congregation will stick around. That is not enough, Bob.
No.
There needs to be more with that. And they've been making some really bad decisions as they're getting closer to tearing down this church and building up this new H&H church. There's not enough there. And if Bishop is getting up there and gives this really amazing speech where maybe he does confess some of his sins, becomes even more vulnerable with everyone, relatable with everyone, that they will just leave H&H and go over to his church, and that will be the end of Bob. Because there's nothing that's going to make me happier than seeing Bob and Judy and Phil sitting in an empty church being like, what happened?
Okay, I'm going to give the ultimate cop-out answer here. I think the real answer is all of the above. I think all of these things are going to happen. I think Bishop is going to go up there and he's going to work to destroy Bob and Judy. But I think he's also going to know that Bob and Judy could try to destroy him. So he's just going to get in front of all of the disasters, of all of his old sins, of everything bad that he has done, and hope that in doing this, he can keep some of the congregation, but also say, you know what? I have sinned. I have done wrong, but I'm being straightforward with you guys. Bob and Judy, they're not being straightforward with you guys. They're trying to screw you guys over. They're trying to take away everything that we've built. And you see in the promo, Bob is standing down there below Bishop while he's doing this. Bob's got no power. If Bob tries to drag Bishop off that stage, people are going to revolt.
I'm wondering about the stuff with Phil's dad the most, of whether or not Bishop's really going to say anything about that. And the only reason why is because Darius is missing. Grace has been threatened. And with that, I'm sure Grace is going to tell the family, hey, this is going on, just so you guys all know about this. So I wonder if then Bishop is going to be too nervous to say something. If people are going missing, at that point he might be like, oh, well, you know, there's another way to go about this. There's another way to turn the congregation away from what these guys are doing and into something better, where I don't have to put the family at risk. I don't have to, you know, put my life at risk. So, because he already thinks that Rochelle's going to kill him.
I have another idea. This is why I don't actually believe what I'm about to say. I just want to put that out there. But what if Bishop is doing basically a diversion? Like, maybe he's just up there, like, filibustering for, like, 2 hours and giving this huge speech, and he's drawing out Bob, and you've got, like, another character who's, like, sneaking into Bob's office now to, like, get some information or whatever.
I actually don't think that that's that far off. That's possible.
It would be fun. I want to see, like, Grace or someone else, like, wearing, like, some night vision goggles or, like, something else, like, rolling past security.
Because they need more than just, you know, Phil's dad's word. They need real, more documents or something. But would Phil keep them there? I don't know about that.
I want to see Bishop just like halfway through and he's just like, all right, now we're going to start reading from Leviticus. And he just like randomly drops the different, he starts reading just verbatim the entire Bible, seeing what happens. But all right, well, we're going to have answers on Tuesday. Hopefully this is not just teasing us and then they end on a cliffhanger again. What are your theories? How do you think this is going down? Give us all of that in the comments. If you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe. We're going to be back on Tuesday to break down this episode, to preview the series finale.
Oh.
And if you do like this discussion, give us a like, subscribe, check out our Patreon. We have a link to the Carter Met store as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you here next time.